Hi, this is Warren Buckleitner of Children's Technology Review. Today I'm looking at an app that is prominently featured, that's it right next to Daniel Tiger, in the App Store. Now, like many parents, I'm going to see these characters and think that this is appropriate for children. As a matter of fact, if I was a child and I was shopping for apps and I saw the Tamagotchi characters, obviously this is an app that is intended for young children. So Apple has featured this as a children's app, and the copy reads, remember those cute digital pets from the 90s that lived in a plastic bag and demanded your attention? Uh, they've escaped and now they're on your iPhone. You'll get the joy of caring for your Tamagotchi's every need, from feeding to washing to making sure its happiness level is high. But keeping your virtual friend alive and well is no simple task. It has food cravings and can't be satisfied with just any old meal. Now, the app received a 4.3 rating in the App Store, and it's free. What harm can it be? So I gave it a download. Now, the footage you're seeing is the first time I've played it, so I don't really know what's around the corner here. I start out with a Tamagotchi, and the first 5 minutes of this experience are quite benign. There's things that you'd expect. It's very easy to use. There's no commercial content, and you can shop. What you don't realize is you're being groomed, in a sense, to get used to buying things. The app is teaching you how the currency system works, and your Tamagotchis have an increasing number of needs, from using the bathroom to eating. Now, each time you do one of these tasks, you earn coins, and notice the sounds of the coins and all of these types of visual and auditory experiences, the stars, the hearts bubbling above the Tamagotchi's head. You feel sorry for the little critter. It's dirty, and there's excretion on the floor that needs to be cleaned up. You really start to bond with this creature, or at least that's the idea. So that's 20 more coins in the bank that I can use to buy food and move ahead in the game. Now, notice my Tamagotchi is getting tired, so I turn off the lights. And if I want to play, again, I can speed up time, or I can set an alarm. Now, notice how they use this feature to get permission to send you alerts. And that is probably disclosed in the terms of use that flashed at the beginning of this experience. But what you can see is this is an experience that you should probably be very careful about, because they're using it as a way to gain access to your alerts, your device's alerts, as well as your social media. Now, none of this information was disclosed at the start of this transaction in the App Store. I mean, it is called a store, an App Store, and there are items for sale, but information is not obvious. You have to either dig for it or build up a healthy degree of suspicion. Again, I did not go into this hunting for these features. If you've been inside any sort of casino, you recognize the sound. So what's going on here is you're being conditioned through the sights and the sounds to get used to a store system where you earn things. So far, everything is completely free. There aren't no advertising, and I'm starting to build feelings of ownership. So I want to come back and take care of my friends. In addition, I can take pictures, and that is how your social media gets pulled in. When you have an accomplishment or have something to share, and you've decorated your area, your town really nicely, you take pictures and you'll see a share button. That leads to Facebook. If you've been inside a casino, you recognize sounds like this. Now after the first 5 minutes, I start running into some friction, and that is I want to get something that looks very interesting, but I find out that it's locked. Now, the longer you stay with this experience, the more locks you run into, and you start bumping into screens like this. And notice you can spend up to $99. For a child who is not reading, the difference in those decimal points is not easy to understand. However, obviously, the the $99 one looks a lot more interesting with that big treasure chest. So accidental purchases are uh, clearly possible. Now, to be fair, iOS 11 is very good at with parental controls. You can turn off a child's ability to do any of these in-app purchases. In addition, they're going to need your password in order to actually make a purchase. In my experience, children are very good at getting that PIN or password or your thumb. So be careful. So let's review. Apple is prominently featuring right next to Daniel Tiger the game of the day, and that includes pretty much every sort of free technique that is being used to monetize experiences, from in-app purchases to forced watching of advertising to collection of social media information to manipulating a young child to grant permissions on your device to send you push notifications. So let's review. The smoothly designed gameplay is freely mixed with both visual and auditory cues. It's fair to call this entire experience classic behavioral manipulation. Now, the day I downloaded this app, it had 4.3 stars, and none of the information about what was actually in it, the data harvesting and the advertising, was disclosed, or at least I couldn't find it before I chose to download it. The only reason I picked this app is because it was being featured that day. There are many, many more just like it. Now, in case you're not convinced that this is the Wild West and that Apple should change its practice, there is a moment in the app when your Tamagotchi says it is sleepy and you can have it watch a video. Now, there are many videos that you might pull up, and in this case, it is for a game called Walking Dead, and these are the scenes that you see. You cannot stop watching the video or you lose points. So essentially, this app forces children to watch this content. So is the Walking Dead app appropriate for children? Apple says it's for 17 and up and provides all of these descriptors. One thing the app does well is it lists the credits, so you can see the names of the people who actually designed this experience. To these people, I would say, would you want your own children or grandchildren to play this Tamagotchi experience? And to Google and Apple, who are both distributing My Tamagotchi Forever, we really do want you to do what's best for our families. I'm Warren Buckleitner. Thanks for watching.